Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. One thing I'm going to say right off the bat before I ramble about other things, I'm going to make a case here and try not to ramble about other things about AI, but I'm going to say, first of all, the shit you're seeing about AI, what it's going to evolve into, it is dangerous. You know, before I ramble about that stuff, I'm going to say right off the bat something was in my mind that I was talking outside of YouTube about. The things that people say are AI that you're seeing right now, not all of it is AI per se. They're calling it that. The stuff that they're giving to you now, those little, what do you call it, programs or whatever you call it, that are advertised in your social media or in your YouTuber ads, you know, and some YouTubers are talking about that you use it to generate answers and things. They're calling it AI, but it's not really AI. And I say you need not to be the person who graduated to the top of your class in code, on like Visual Basic or anything like that. You need only to be the person maybe that took it in college that barely passed, to a point where you were able to go and get codes, look up codes and cut and paste them in your own house and put them on a, you know, whatever you want to call it, whatever text pad you were using at that time, and make it into, you know, and I'm going to say, talk in parentheses too, yeah, remember like on your YouTube ads and your ads to other social media? Oh, YouTubers were talking about the software, YouTube ads and whatever social media has the ads, this thing, and they're pitching it to you that you can make YouTube videos and make money without even being on YouTube. And I think I did a video like that before. It says, why would you want to have a robot saying a bunch of things when you can be just a dishonest human being, saying things in your own words and saying where you got it from, have something here and read what. But if I was doing that, for example, I mean reading off of some website and not saying in my own words, you'd be able to see that. But if I tell you I did a video recently where something that I wrote and read, I'm reading something that I wrote, still I get all the facts in. But all right, here's another thing I'm going to say right off the bat too. You know how some of your a little bit of your likers and your haters will say in so many words that the way you talk about things, organizing the information. But here's what I'm getting at. Any other person that never went on YouTube that I've given you some advice here too. What I'm getting at, it's better to be a maybe whatever people want to think not so great speaker. You keep doing it, you only get better. Even if some people say, oh, they don't like the way you talk or make long rambles in information or whatever the hell, you could say 5 minutes and what you're saying in a half hour, what you could say 5 minutes. There's people that are always going to say that, but I'm giving you an idea too. For one example, you want to be a YouTuber and it's not perfect, keep doing it and then you'll only get better. But I say it's better to be criticized as for that, like at least you're an actual person saying something in your own words, being honest. At least you're not being phony and taking some robot AI that's searching some article and just reading word for an article and you can tell the voice is a robot, right? And the people that are advertising that little AI thing you can download on your phone, they're saying you can make all kind of money on YouTube for that. Bullshit. I looked at a lot of videos on stuff like that, and me and my partner are sitting there, you can tell it's an AI voice. And there are commenters on there that they're not stupid. The people that are creating this lower level, what they're calling AI, ain't really AI per se. It's like the text-to-speech software thing called Text Aloud and that I used to have, which was very nice. And before this AI thing was ever a thing, about maybe 10 years ago, remember I was on YouTube, you heard some things that the voice was kind of electronic, you know. It wasn't there wasn't shitloads of videos like that, but you could tell people were using things like text aloud and then putting pictures in the video. And it wasn't really bad if it gave you a little information on something you wanted to know. You give the video maybe a little few points or two, but then you'd have criticized them, say it's still better to talk about something yourself. But people were before this AI thing. People were doing that years ago, using software like text aloud and a couple of different brands of text-to-speech software, then taking their video editing software and maybe putting pictures. Nothing wrong with that. But my thing about that is that's just the shit that they're calling AI. I understand what AI is evolving to. I agree. It's getting there. People probably have advanced AI computers that'll outthink you, do things. But they don't have all that set up just yet. My thing is the shit that they're calling AI now, they're falsely calling it AI. Like that little software they're trying to give you for free, and then you buy the software and it'll do more. The voice sounds phony. And unlike people like maybe, I don't know, some people linguistically better than others, some people ramble more or less than others, some people are better speakers on YouTube. Even if you're called a somewhat shitty speaker, it's better to be a somewhat shitty speaker and be criticized for that than be some stupid cheating and putting using a thing they're calling AI, and all in my opinion, this so-called AI, what they're giving us now is just nothing but text-to-speech. It's text-to-speech software. I mean, if you have a thing called text aloud, or I think there's another thing, if I'm not mistaken, Dragon, naturally speaking. On the glory days of Pirate Bay, there was a lot of them text-to-speech softwares that you were able, along with downloading any music you want, or shit, any kind of other shit, free copies of software. I mean, with Pirate Bay, I mean, I digress. That's another video I wanted to eventually get around to talking about. When Pirate Bay was around, it was literally Wild West. You could download any damn thing you wanted. But I'm throwing that in there. I'm trying not to jump subjects, but that's part of my point. I put that in my point because you were able to get and try out all this software. But there was one called Text Aloud, okay? Even though I got it that way, I liked it enough to buy it, okay? You were able to, and bought the voices. And what I used to do with that, take the British woman voice, or the British man voice, or the regular American guy voice, couple voices you get, use each voice and type swear words in there and see the difference in they say them, the difference in how they're said. I'm trying not to laugh when I say it. Or just take that text-to-speech software, okay? You want to copy something from a website instead of just reading it yourself, right? I never did that up and put it online, but I was playing with it and saying a whole article, maybe a short article on, I don't know, short article about opinions on the books of Enoch or something. You're into theological or some other kind of metaphysical or occult thing or religion, different shit like that. Small article, cut and paste it in there and have it read it for you and see what happens. And my problem, even with some text-to-speech software, you use the different voices. Some does better than others. There's certain kind of words that it doesn't say very well. You know what I'm saying? And my point in this ramble is that's what I'm seeing. You got that same shit in that text-to-speech software, and YouTubers were using that a little bit, like the past 10 years or so. Once in a while, you get somebody doing that. But I'd never want to use that. Even when I had that software, I never had any desire to use that to cheat in making YouTube videos. Or I don't want to even do that now either. The only thing I used it for, the text-to-speech software, is say, I'm busy doing stuff. You know, not listening to YouTube videos or, say, music. I'm maybe working on a computer or putting something together, doing some work or something. And maybe I want that text-to-speech software to read it for me. But I had a little problem with that. things that irked me about it, it couldn't pronounce every single word. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing in this so-called AI. It's not AI. To me, it's just stupid text-to-speech software. They're reintroducing text-to-speech software in another form. Like text-to-speech software that people like you and me maybe wasn't sure we wanted to buy, and we got off for Pirate Bay. You know what I'm saying? But that does not mean I am not saying that the AI, the way it's coming. My problem is the stuff they're calling AI now, and they're giving you. It's not AI. It's just a fucking algorithm. You can just a bunch of answers, possible answers to one particular. You pick a question, something about sports, right? And you write a maybe algorithm. Like when I was in college, we used Visual Basic, and we made a sports quiz. Or you want to take any kind of trivial question. If you want to make your own quiz about something and just all the answers over here, you do all your declarations like in Visual Basic. I'm tell you real quick if you ever took any Visual Basic or Java. And we did Visual Basic when I was in college. You put the declarations up here. Define something is here. And then you have the if and else statements, if this is the true or false statement. Well, it's declared up. Anyway, I'm stopping right there. I don't want to ramble. But yeah, without rambling on the basic ideas of Visual Basic or any kind of stuff you studied in college, I'm trying to tell you this without rambling all about it, that after you put your declarations up here, you put all the possible answers, and you could put an if or else statement in there. Make your declarations. They call it a Boolean, which means true or false. Numbers and letters. If you want, you have to declare something as a string, whether it's numbers or letters, so it shows up there. But then the part with numbers, you declare as a string, and it's like you declare it as, you want to declare something as integer, and there's a math thing. I don't want to, I'm trying not to ramble about all of that shit, but give you the basic idea that when you get to a certain part, maybe you want to write some algorithm or a program. And I know enough that even if you didn't graduate to the top of your class in it, you could. I'm talking to people that may have not even got straight A's in it, but you know how to. Maybe I'm talking somewhere on here that didn't score straight A's and get that fancy job or whatever on top of your class, but you were able to recognize code, look up the code in things and cheat, in a test and that kind of cheating. Hey, at least you're able to recognize the program. But anyway, that's a little bit of a ramble. If you got this far in this video, all this so-called AI is at this point, if you took that kind of writing of a code, you write a whole bunch of possible answers down here and there, and have an if and else statement attached to it, or there's other statements. I mean, I'm partially laughing and at the same time because like I said, I believe in AI, yet I don't believe in this AI that they're pitching to you now. And I'm saying enough about the coding from like memory, from somebody who maybe knew how to recognize at least the code when you see it, and then you could get code and snatch it out. Like, say you didn't graduate to top in your class, you was able to cheat on the test, yet that's cheating on the test. Say right now you could go and snag code somewhere and write something and make it run that you learned in college. But if you were to look at the code in college, that's cheating. And some of our instructors, they didn't have the internet turned off. You were able to look it up, and like at least when I took it in community college. I'm saying without rambling, I'm trying to give you a case that the AI, it's not AI yet, and even some of the stuff that looks more impressive and will give you answers back way better, and I don't know, and even if you program it to argue with you, I can see how it's just an elaborate collection of algorithms. I'm throwing off ballpark, you know. I'm saying from memory, the people that were better at, there's probably assholes that already took that shit and scored higher than me in college and will be correcting me already. I know that. I'm just saying from memory as an example. If those people that understand the code I'm talking about, right, are better than me, I denying that, I would be saying, imploring them in a way, okay, instead of being an asshole, cut me down and saying, oh, worrying about every single technical thing about the code. I'm just trying to tell you in ballpark that element exists, and you don't have to have graduated at the top of your class in, say, coding like Visual Basic. You need only to maybe be somebody that was barely making it in the class and cheat, in a sense that you understand and you can prove to somebody else that idea exists, that element exists, where all the fuck you're doing is building an algorithm. You can build an algorithm and have it answer things back, or I don't know, a sports quiz or a trivial quiz on something. You put the answers and you put in your declarations up here. And I'm just saying shit from memory because I don't want to give you every single thing. And that topic of coding alone, it could be a long ass ramble, but it's not AI, not yet.